Hello, I'm going to explain how to do the obesity energy in and energy out activity. Um, there are three parts to this activity. So the first one is calculating calories of macromolecules. The macromolecules that we get calories from are carbohydrates, proteins, and fats. And they don't all provide the same amount of calories per gram. So if you notice, carbs give us 4 calories for every gram, proteins give us 4 calories of every gram, and fats give us 9 calories for every gram. So fats carry a lot more energy content in them, which is great if we use that energy, but it's not great if we don't, because then it just gets stored away. So we're going to be practicing how to calculate calories in different foods, and then you're going to be tracking the food that you eat for a day, 24-hour period, and answer some questions. And then in part B, you're going to be calculating your BMI and your BMR, body mass index, how much fat you have based on your height and weight, and then your BMR is how much energy your body uses when it's at rest. And then you're going to use those two calculations to figure out how many calories your body needs to maintain its current weight. And for part C, you're going to be looking at how many calories you would need to gain weight and how many calories you would need to lose weight based on the information that you calculated earlier, and what types of activities would burn different amounts of calories. Okay, so let's take a look. For part A, I've got my little calculator, my online calculator, and you also will need a place to search up information about the foods that you eat. But first, let's take a look. This first one is done for you. So you're supposed to calculate how many grams of carbs, proteins, and fats, and you just look on the label. So carbohydrates, we've got 33, and you can see it right here, 33. Proteins, we look right here, 4, and fats are 12. So you can just look at the total fat, not the saturated and trans fat. And then, like we set up here, for every gram of carbs, you have to multiply it by 4. For every gram of protein, multiply it by 4. And for fats, you multiply it by 9 to find out how many calories. So they did that right here for us, 33 times 4, 4 times 4, and 12 times 9. And that's how we got these calories right here. Then we want to know what percent of the calories are coming from carbs, what percent of the calories in this Snickers bar is coming from proteins, and what percent is coming from fat. So first you have to add up all the calories, and they did that, add up all the calories, so they got 256, and then they take the calories of the carbohydrates and divide that by the total, 256, and multiply it by 100, and they get 52%. Same thing, you take the calories from the protein, divide it by the total, which is 256, multiply it by 100, and you get 6. And fats is 108, divided by the total, 256 times 100. And then you need to decide whether this calorie percentage is within the CDC recommendation. So let's see where the CDC recommendation is. They recommend that 45 to 65% of your calories come from carbs, 10 to 35 come from protein, and 20 to 35 come from fat. So if we look here, 45 to 65 should come from carbs. So the carbs seem like they fall into the correct range, 52. Proteins should be between 10 to 35. So proteins are a little on the low side, although it says it's within range. And then 20 to 35 should come from fat. Well, this one is a little high for fat. So right here, it tells you. I guess you can, yeah. So right here, it tells you. So you're going to do the same for Big Mac, Apple, Ben & Jerry's ice cream, spaghetti and meatballs, Caesar salad. And then after you've gotten the hang of that, you're going to write down your own food that you have in the morning, in the afternoon, and at dinner. If you have a snack, just throw that in somewhere close to whatever meal it is. Now, not all your foods that you eat are going to have labels that you can quickly get this information from. So there are two places I would recommend. This one is really fast and easy. You don't have to sign up or anything. It's called Calorie King, and it's an app on a phone, or it's on the web, has a website. So, like for instance, if I had pancakes, there's different kinds of pancakes. I don't know if they have, yeah. It's kind of hard to pick specifically. So let's say I made my own pancakes. I had one, it was 4 inches in diameter. If it's bigger, then you want to double it if you had to, double it or add more. So these are the grams of fats, carbs, and protein. So I could put that down. If I had like 3 pancakes, then I would put 3 pancakes, and then I would put fats, carbs, and proteins down. Another website I would check is this, MyFitnessPal, which I really like because it kind of, you create a profile for yourself, and you put in your height and your weight and your activity levels and all of that. But when you get to the food, it also can help you find this information. So for example, let's say I wanted to add, and it gives a little more than just carbs, proteins, and fats. But let's say I had waffles, and there's different kinds of waffles. So depending on how many and what brand, we actually have Trader Joe's waffles at my house. So I'm going to pretend I had 2 waffles, and I'm going to go ahead and put nutrition info. So it gives me the carbs is 41 grams, the protein is 1 gram, and fat is 7 grams. Okay, so, and it gives me the calories too. Oh, and then what I'm going to do is calculate the calories. For example, here, let me just do this. So if this is 2 Trader Joe waffles. So the carbs were 41 grams. That's kind of a lot of carbs. And in order to get calories, I'm going to multiply carbs by 4. Because remember up here, carbs you multiply by 4. Right here. Okay, so let's go to my calculator. 41 times 4. So my total calories from carbs is going to be 164. Okay, then I'm going to go over to proteins. There's only 1 gram of protein. 1, and then 1 times 4 is going to be 4 calories. And fats, I've got 7 grams of fats, and fats I multiply by 9, so that'll be 63 calories in my waffles. And then let's say I had an apple. Okay, I might have to adjust my font so they fit on the lines, but and then I'm just going to look up apple. I could add it to my diary, by the way, and this will kind of, it added it to my breakfast right there. So let's say I had an apple. I do like apples. By the way, if you had syrup, you need to add the syrup too. Okay, let's say I had a medium apple. I'll go for that. I'll add it to my food diary, and it tells me that an apple has 25 carbs. The apple has 7. Whoa, no, it has no fat and no protein, but it does have a lot of fiber, which is a good thing. Okay, so I'm going to continue that, and I'm going to keep track of my meals and all the foods and snacks and drinks that I eat and drink for the next 24 hours. Okay, and then you're going to calculate that. Oh, here's the snacks right here. And then I'm going to answer these questions. Okay. And if you're not sure what macromolecules, you can look back up here. I mean, these are the macromolecules: carbohydrates, proteins, fats. Then I'm going to calculate for part B my body mass index. And what is it? You can just look right up there. You're going to take your height and convert it to centimeters. So first you're going to change it to inches, and then you're going to convert it to centimeters. So if I'm 5'3", if I'm 5'3", which I'm not, I'm guessing that might be a height for some of you. Okay, if I'm 5'3", each foot is 12 inches. So I'm going to say 5 times 12, and then plus 3 more inches. Okay, so I would be 63. What just happened there? So 5 times 12 plus 3. So I'm 63 inches. And then I have to convert it to centimeters. So I would take 63 times 2.54 times 2.54. And that tells me how many centimeters I am. So 2.54. And oops, 160.02. And then I need to divide by 100 to get meters. Okay, so to divide by 100, you just move the decimal over 2 spots, but I'll show you. Divided by 100 equals 1.60. Okay, just gonna round that. All right, now I need to change my weight into kilograms. So let's pretend I weigh 110. Okay, I weigh 110 pounds. I'm just going to multiply by 0.454. So I'm going to clear this up, and I'm going to be 110 times 0.454, and that will give me 49.9 kilograms. Okay, 49, I'm just going to say 50. 50 kilograms, and my weight in pounds was 110. Okay. So now I need to calculate my BMI. It's just going to be my weight divided by my height. So my weight in kilograms divided by my height squared. Oh, okay. So it's going to be my weight in kilograms, 50. And it's going to be divided by my height, which is 1.6, 1.60 squared. Can I do a square? Oh, there I go. Okay. So, oh, it has my same thing. All right, so 1.6 times 1.6 is equal to 2.56. So I'm going to take my weight, which is 50, and I'm going to divide it by 2.56. Okay, and let's see what that gives me. 50 divided by 2.56, 19.53, which I'll say is 19.5. 19.5, so that is my BMI. 19.5 according to here, I'm just a little underweight. This is a made-up height and weight, so I'm a little overweight. Okay, and then you're going to be following this to calculate your metabolic rate, what your level of burning energy is at rest. So I don't know if you've heard, like, when you're young, you have a high metabolism. When you get older, it slows down. Guys tend to have a higher metabolism than women. So that's why you can see that we've got a different formula for women, a different formula for men, and it puts your age into account. So you're gonna take these numbers, plug in your weight in kilograms, your height in centimeters, and your age, and you should be getting your BMR. And then you are also going to multiply it by these numbers depending on how active you are, because if you're very active, your metabolic rate will be higher even when you're resting than if you're just sitting all day. Okay, and then so now you're going to look and see how many of your calories should come from carbs, proteins, and fats. And you are going to take your calories from the earlier part where you figured out how many calories you need how many calories that you need for yourself. Okay, and then for part C, you'll be looking at how many calories it takes to gain or lose 1 pound. So if you increase over time by 3,500 more calories, then you will put on weight, and if you decrease, you will lose weight. You can answer those questions. And interestingly, I hope you take a look at the movie Fed Up that I post in Power School, because it kind of challenges this notion of calories in and calories out, because it says not all calories affect you the same way. And if your calories have a lot of fiber in them, then you they don't cause you to gain weight as quickly as calories that are just like calories in a soda. So that's sort of an interesting thing to consider. Okay, if you get stuck anywhere or if you need more help, go ahead and send me an email. Otherwise, I hope you enjoy doing this activity.